Hi, today we're going to talk about the third of the 5 commonalities we found during our conversations with successful families and their advice and their advisory teams. So, thinking about building the proper advisory team for your family. Clarity. I want to talk about advisory team for many. It's just your CPA, maybe it's your financial advisor. For others, it's more complex. They have an estate planning attorney, a corporate attorney, potentially a trust officer. No two teams are alike. That being said, it's important to right-size the advice in which you're getting with your 20-year plan. Remember, we talked about successful families align their planning and everyday decisions surrounding that 20-year plan. And it's the same thing with building the advice or the advisor team around that. So I'll share with you a story which raised a couple questions for me. I talked to a client who's the CFO of a technology services group. 5 years ago, that company brought on investors to help them grow, which their intent was to acquire 1 or 2 other smaller businesses each year, which they've done successfully. They have a contractual service relationship with their clients. 75+% of their revenue is recurring, and it's an unbelievably great business model. So my client tells me, the CFO tells me, that that business is going to go on the block in the next 12 months. And so we're talking through the current ownership structure, because one family really owns the majority of the controlling interest in this company. And by the way, it's not the only operating company they own. This company has a value somewhere in the area of $75 million is the current thinking. And we're talking about who the current owners are, and this family owns this stock personally. The CFO indicated that the other operating companies are also owned, or the stock is owned personally. It just raised a lot of questions for me. And really, the questions could be about the client, or the questions could be about the advisory team. Because I don't see a lot of families that are going to be worth $50 million or more that their advisory team have not really dug deep into other ways or structures of ownership to remove some of that growth or some of that value from the kitchen table. Mostly trusts or gifts, right? A million ways to do it. It's really from the legal side of things. We take care of that modeling or forecasting to help a family to say what that structure might look like. That being said, I also might want to question the client. Maybe all the advisors are right. Maybe they're the right size advisors with great advice. The client has no interest or capacity to tackle that project and is not interested. And that's okay too, but it really raised a lot of questions at these numbers. So I step back and think about, if you were to forecast your affairs over the next 10 or 20 years, and you think about, when I get here, are the advisors who are on my team right-sized? Are they purposefully aligned to be a $50 million family in 20 years? Are those advisors thinking and are used to working and giving advice and strategizing around a $50 million family? So when you think about that criteria, I hear pretty common ideas or concerns. So for example, how old is my advisory team? How about, what's their bench strength look like? Do I know the junior, the second or third person who works on in my affairs? How about, are they responsive? I think about, are they used to a $50 or $70 million company or family? And if so, great. If not, maybe it's time to look. How about, are they the right team member for your family? You know, how about your spouse or your children? Are these the right advisors to work with them? So when we think about the criteria, it's really important to understand tomorrow's values today, and that your advisors and the advice that you receive should be commensurate with tomorrow's numbers, how you get from here to there. So my name is Rob Wermuth. I head the Family Office Services Group here at Legacy Planning. If you'd like to learn more about the 5 commonalities that successful families enjoy when putting together their advisory teams and the advice that they receive, please visit us online at legacy-online.com. Thank you.